Hello, welcome back to The Dude. Today I'm going to be reviewing quite the rarity in the Spirit Halloween collecting community. Not the rarest of items ever, but it's rather uncommon. It is the 2009 YJ animated Deadlift zombie. This, as I stated, came out in 2009. I think it retailed for $150, but I could be wrong. And it was made by YJ Toys and Crafts, who, at this point, I think they had only made like 4 other props. But this came out in 2009 along with the Ripping Reaper of Souls, who retailed for, I think, $200. But back to this guy. I got him off eBay for like $250 a couple years ago, from this dude who didn't really know what it was and just thought it was a zombie decoration. So that was nice because it wasn't like $800. I got him, and oddly enough, a big problem on these is that the latex that YJ used is super vulnerable to dry rotting. But the hands are fucked. They are totally fucked. Like you can see right there, they're totally dry rotted. I don't know why it's specifically the hands, but the head is fine. Like, the head is totally fine. It's not discolored in any way. It's still really detailed. It's still pretty squishy, although on the left side of it, the side without an eye, it is a little bit tougher. I'm assuming that it was left out in the sun a bit more, like, that way. But it's not to the point where it's cracking horribly, which is good. His clothes are also not faded at all. They are still amazing looking. He looks pretty much pristine, just like I got him new. He is sound activated, although barely. I've actually had him chilling on sound sensor, and no matter how loud I talk, he is not going to activate because YJ's sound sensors at this point were a little of what I like to call dog shit. Like this, Bone Collector, Zombie Barrel, Toxic Zombie Barrel, Chin Up Zombie, all of them, you have to be real loud. I think this one is a more extreme case, as even like clapping loud sometimes doesn't do it. You have to kind of stomp on the ground right next to him, since the sound sensor's in the base. And like if you like knock his head or something, it won't really activate. You have to stomp next to him. But he works on Try Me button, and the sound sensor works somewhat. It works enough. And mechanically, he's in a shape. Could be a circle. I'm not sure. No, I'm kidding. Everything works, but like my hobbler, there's a little bit of jank. The motor that runs the rising mechanism is slightly, like, it's dying out a little bit, to the point where sometimes the track will misalign and it will hit the relay switch too early and only rise up about halfway. But there's an easy way to fix that. Just, if you run it about 5 times, it's good. And sometimes once it gets all the way up, it doesn't hit the relay switch, so it'll sit there and click for like a second and then hit the relay switch. It doesn't damage it. It's just, again, he just needs a bit of exercise. If you're taking him out of storage, like I just did, I took him out of storage a moment ago, and I had to run him like 10 times for him to get working right. But once he's working right, oh my god, he works right. He's super loud. His rising is way quieter than some of the other ones I've heard. The head is a bit slow, like the motor in the head, but it still works perfectly. It still goes around once, which is good, and the relay switch in there actually still works, so it resets correctly every time. And if it's like turned the wrong way, then it'll reset itself because the relay switch works. Unfortunately, the eye lights, there is a wire off in, I think, somewhere in the head, but I am not about to try to get into that latex because, oh my god, I will destroy it. And besides, it doesn't matter. As long as he's mechanically working, I'm fine with that. Especially on this prop, I never really was too big a fan of the lights being synced to the audio. It always looked kind of jank in my opinion. He's got one of the classic, like, long-ass YJ cords. You can kind of see it sprawled out on the floor right there. It's like 10 feet long, and it's connected to that adapter right there, which connects the two cables together. And then he also has the try me button port that's, like, way out, and, yeah, it's the same deal. But yeah, mechanically, once you give him a little exercise, like 5 activations, he works pristine. He has absolutely no problems in that department. It's just the eyes. The head's a bit slower than, like, the demo that Spirit put out back in 2009, but that's to be expected. And, yeah, overall, he's in pretty great shape. I have the box, but it's in storage. It's kind of beat up, but not to the point where it's unusable. Unfortunately, I don't have the carpet that came with him that he would have sat on. It would look like he was, like, coming out of the ground. I don't know, I never really liked it regardless, so I don't really care. But other than that, he's got everything. He works pretty great. The latex on the head is pristine. The hands are fucked, but that doesn't really matter to me. And mechanically, he works great. And so now I will demonstrate that for you. Or try to, at least. Yeah, there was the relay switch. Yeah, that him shaking once he got up was him not hitting the relay switch. It's, once again, a byproduct of if you leave him in storage for a while, because the motor hasn't had much exercise. If you help him up, he will, like, hit it correctly. If you just pull him up a little bit more. Like, here, I'll do it now, actually. So I'll have to point the camera up a little bit. Yeah, see, there we go. If he's on carpet, most of the time his hands won't really reset to the position where they're kind of at his side like that. So you kind of have to have him on, like, a tile or a wood floor for him to be able to reset his arms so that they're, like, at the side like that, how they are on, like, the stock photos. But yeah, he works great once you get him going, and I'm very proud to have him, although I probably am selling him soon to a person who I will not describe yet, because I'm not sure if he's gonna buy it as of right now. But yeah, I've had him for about 2 years, and before that, I guess he was used a couple Halloweens and then slapped into storage. I've been able to keep him working, and he's been in pretty great condition. Actually, fun fact, I was in the room when his eyes broke. His eyes broke mid-activation, and I got so sad, oh my god. But then the next day I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, pretty great prop overall. I love his animation, his soundtrack, oh my god. It's like Guardian of the Graves with, I don't know why, but church bells, they just do it for me with, like, horror Halloween props. And yeah, I absolutely love this guy, but he might be not in my collection soon. He's, also before I go, he is fairly uncommon, and by uncommon, I mean uncommon as in you won't see many of them pop up, but usually they'll be for an okay price. Like, they'll be, like, around $350 from what I've been able to observe. There was one on Facebook Marketplace that was completely fucked. It stayed in the up position, the track was completely broken, the shirt was ripped, the hands were broken, like, more than mine. The hands were completely crumpled apart in that one. The head was totally dry rotted, and it had actually broken off the mechanism. It was a mess, and it made me so fucking sad, you have no idea. Well, anyway, yeah, that's it. 2009, YJ, Deadlift Zombie.